to be here. They all have jobs and were not able to be here on a Wednesday morning.
Thank you. The Open Accountable Elections Ordinance creates the Open and Accountable Elections Commission to help implement and oversee the program. The code requires me to nominate 9 individuals to the commission and the council to approve the appointments. The code sets out 2 criteria for members. First, have an interest in campaign finance, and second, reflect the diversity of the city of Portland. In addition, we asked the Voice for All Portland Coalition, which helped move the ordinance into law and has been helping implement the law. What skills and experiences would be helpful to have on the commission to assist in their carrying out their duties well? The coalition helped us identify the skills and experiences they'd like to see, and also helped us, recruit for members for the commission. The following 9 nominees collectively fit the required and desired criteria. First is Amy Ruiz, who has 15 years of experience in campaign management and journalism, including as news editor at the Portland Mercury. Amy has managed campaigns and communications for ballot measures, including the Oregon United for Marriage campaign and the 2014 Portland Parks Recreation Replacement Bond campaign. She previously served as Chief of Staff and Communications Director to Mayor Sam Adams and currently serves as Senior Vice President at Strategies 360. Amy Sample Ward is the CEO of N10, a nonprofit that helps community organizations use technology to better achieve their missions. She believes technology can help nonprofits reach their missions more effectively, efficiently, and inclusively, and she's interested in everything from digital equity to social innovation. Her co-authored book, Social Change Anytime, Everywhere, was a Terry McAdam Book Award finalist in 2013. Cindy Yang is a language interpreter. She has held positions as a restaurant server, an insurance sales, a cashier, and a casino slot technician. Cindy hopes the Open and Accountable Elections program helps candidates that represent hardworking people like her and her family win elected office. Courtney Hellstein brings a depth of experience from her prior experience managing campaigns and as the former deputy director of the Senate Democratic Leadership Fund. She serves as the board co-chair of the Oregon Women's Campaign School, where she works to recruit and train candidates and campaign staff, and as director of government affairs and campaigns at Strategies 360. Daniel Lukow worked tirelessly to help pass the Open and Accountable Elections Ordinance as Deputy Director of Common Cause Oregon, in addition to other democracy reforms at the state and local level. He currently manages criminal justice reform for the ACLU of Oregon. Norman Farrell has represented the League of Women Voters in numerous leadership roles at the national, state, and local levels. Among his many accomplishments, he was appointed by Secretary of State Bill Bradbury to Oregon's Campaign Finance Disclosure Panel, which led to the adoption of the ORSTAR Campaign Finance Disclosure System. Norman is a retired software engineer who enjoys skiing and singing in his church choir. Ricardo Lujan Valerio is an immigration, education, and elections policy advocate. He was born in Nezahualcóyotl, Mexico, and immigrated to the United States at the age of 9. He graduated from Rogue Community College and Southern Oregon University. He is the ACLU of Oregon's Policy Associate. He previously served as the state board co-chair for Unite Oregon and the bilingual bicultural organizer for their Rogue Valley chapter. He's worked with local governments in rural Southern Oregon to improve policies and practices using an equity lens, as well as helping uplift the voices of immigrant communities and promoting civic engagement. Saren Bussell is currently Chief of Staff to a state senator. He used to work as a geologist for the Oregon Department of Geology and Mineral Industries. After she completed her MBA, she became part of Metro's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Change team. She is looking forward to bringing her experience in campaign management, nonprofit administration, and project management to the commission. Tom Simpson was recommended for the commission by the Portland Business Alliance. His 30 years of work experience includes stints at a large tech company, a boutique consulting practice, and now is the Director of Government and Regulatory Affairs at the Standard, a financial service company. Tom serves on the boards of Portland Youth Builders and Oregon State Parks Foundation. For more information, please refer to your packet of longer bios of the nominees, which will also be posted on the Open and Accountable Elections webpage. Terms will be staggered as outlined in the code. The commissioner who decides to take the long and short terms, the commissioners will decide who takes the long and short terms, and a report will be filed for a future council agenda. I'm available for your questions.
Looks good. Colleagues, any further questions? Not all accept the motion. Commissioner Fritz neither proposed nor seconded the report. I'll give that to Commissioner Fish as the proposer and Commissioner Hardesty as the second. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Really enthusiastic colleagues, thank you so much. I am absolutely delighted. Thank you, Director Susamoto. You've been doing an amazing job in a very short time. Thanks also to Anna Paisio, the Deputy Director, who assists in staffing the Commission, to Christina Nieves on my staff, who is an integral part of the team, and Tim Crail, who has been my partner in getting this program going. Thank you so much. And thank you to the appointees for their willingness to volunteer to serve the city. Aye.
Sounds like a really exceptional group of people. The only additional piece that I have a concern with is, given the work we've done to address potential conflicts of interest and the training requirements of boards and commissions, just making sure that as each of these commission members are onboarded, that they get the training they need in how to be successful on this particular commission. I think this is the highest, most visible commission that we've appointed since we implemented the reforms. And I'm not sure, post-Judy, who is now the point in the city attorney's office, but I know that Commissioner Fritz shares those concerns, and that these will be addressed as part of the onboarding. Aye.
Hardesty.
I just want to appreciate Commissioner Fritz for just being consistent and making sure that we move this process forward. I mean, clearly we've had a lot of kind of roadblocks in our path, and I just want to thank you, Commissioner Fritz, for your leadership and getting us to this point. And thankfully, we will have a oversight committee in place very soon. Thank you also for your hard work, Susan. Aye.
Thank you to Commissioner Fritz. Thank you to the individuals willing to volunteer their time to serve the city, and you as well. I go back.
Well, Commissioner Fritz, when you have every member of the council trying to vote, make the motion on the report and second it, you know you've had something right. So thank you on your work. And I think it also speaks to the quality of the people who stepped forward to serve on this commission. So I want to thank each and every one of them individually. This is a great start. Thank you. I vote aye. The report's accepted. The appointments are approved. Thank you.
Mayor, because we're so far ahead of our schedule, can I suggest that we take care of the second readings?
Why don't we go to the end of the agenda, please, the end of the regular agenda, please call item 88.
Authorize the commissioners in charge of the Bureau of Environmental Services or designee and Portland Parks and Recreation or designee to execute agreements for the planning, design, construction, and maintenance of watershed restoration projects in partnership with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and other partners.
This is a second reading of ordinance. There's already been a presentation and public testimony. Is there any further discussion on this item? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Fritz. Aye.
Fish.
Colleagues, I want to again thank Emily Roth from Portland Parks and Rec and Caitlin Lovell from the Bureau of Environmental Services. We are very fortunate to have two people of such exceptional talent and such strong values leading this effort. I want to thank Jamie Dunphy in my office, who is the liaison to the Bureau of Environmental Services. And I also want to acknowledge that at a time when we seem to be fighting the federal government in many forums, including court, it is refreshing that we have such a strong partnership with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. And they have done exceptional work as our partner in protecting juvenile salmon. And right now, our team is either in D.C. or en route from D.C. after doing some lobbying. We're hoping to get the next round of funding. And as you heard last week, it is primarily a federal-funded program where we get credit for things like land and in-kinds. So it's a win-win. We're very proud of the two plans that we've already implemented. at Crystal Springs and Oak Bottom, and we look forward to many more in the future. Aye.
Hardesty,
Aye.
Daly,
Aye.
Wheeler,
I vote aye. The ordinance is adopted. Thank you. Next item, please, is item number 89.
accept $1.5 million grant from the Oregon Department of Transportation, authorize intergovernmental agreement for Columbia Boulevard Safety Improvement Project, and appropriate $500,000 in fiscal year 2018-19.
This is also a second reading. Please call the roll.
Fritz,
Aye.
Fish,
Aye.
Hardesty,
Aye.
Daly,
Well, I'm so pleased to see significant progress on these safety improvements here at George Middle School. I want to thank the community members and advocates who have raised their concerns as well as provided input on the solutions. I also want to thank PBOT staff Winston Sandino, Dan Layden, and Lele Santelices, as well as speaker Tina Kotek and her staff for all their work on this project. I vote aye.
I vote aye. The ordinance is adopted. We will go to the first pulled item, item number 73.
authorize a contract with Fortinet Inc. for the next generation firewall system in the amount of $4.5 million.
And I believe I'm the one who pulled this. I'm not sure if anybody else did. There was a scrivener's error on this. This should not have gone to the consent agenda, in my opinion. And so I will give the presentation since nobody is available to do that at this time, since we're a bit ahead of schedule. The Bureau of Technology Services is contracting with a security vendor known as Fortinet Incorporated to replace citywide end-of-service data network firewalls with next-generation firewalls. So this is an upgrade. The city is using a cooperative purchase agreement to expedite this procurement. The contract shall have a 5-year base with an initial not-to-exceed value of $2,250,000 and an option for an additional 5 years not to exceed 10 years in total. The not-to-exceed amount is $4,500,000 for the life of the contract. Firewalls, of course, are critical to the city's cybersecurity needs and compliance requirements for payment card industry requirements. Personally identifiable information, otherwise known as the industry's PII, and protected code information, that is, of course, protected through the federal HIPAA Act. This contract would be authorized as quickly as possible to avoid a lapse in citywide firewall security protection. This ordinance provides the Bureau of Technology Services with sufficient time to effectively migrate the new data network firewalls. So there you have it. Any particular questions on this, and I'll do my best to answer them. Otherwise, we'll go to public testimony.
I did get a sign-up sheet for the full night.
Is there anybody who would like to testify on this particular contract? Please call the roll.
Fritz,
You did an excellent staff job, Mayor. Somebody should proud of you. Aye.
Fish,
Aye.
Hardesty,
Aye.
Daly,
Aye.
Wheeler,
Aye. The ordinance is adopted, and I understand the Director Severe is here. We can go to item 81.
amend contract with OIR approved for the review of closed officer-involved shootings and investigations to extend term and increase maximum compensation allowed under contract by $60,000.
Good morning, Director Severe. Thank you for being here.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor, members of council. So as the mayor stated, we're asking for the current contract that the city of Portland has with the OIR group to be extended to January 31st, 2020, and compensation not to exceed $60,000 for a contract amount of $200,000. And this would also include completed officer-involved shooting cases and in custody deaths that are closed by July 1st, 2019. The current contract went into effect in October of 2016. There were at that time 11 cases that were eligible for review. As of this time, OIR has reviewed 15 cases. There is an additional amount, or there's currently an amount of money left over in the contract, but not enough to conduct or review additional cases. The plan is that with the ordinance being approved, that OIR will approve, or sorry, OIR will review cases from the last half of 2017 and 6 cases from 2018 for a total of 9 cases, which will allow us to provide useful feedback to the police commissioner and the police bureau in a timely manner. One of the issues with these outside reviews